Well, hello there. You made it to another episode of Boring, Boring, Boring. I can't remember what I was going to talk about now. Something. I was making a cup of tea and I come in and sat down and I thought, I'm going to talk about something. I can't remember what it was now, so. I'll think of it eventually. Some point I was going to make. I had a couple of days off school. I was going to do homework and I haven't done it yet, but I just wanted a couple of days off. I was just tired. All the noise around here keeps me awake all night and I just don't sleep properly. So, trying to think what it was I was going to say. Not sure. Something. I'll think of it eventually. I'll just keep the video rolling while I think of it. Okay, here we go. I'll think of it. It's not coming. Yeah, got to do some study soon. I'll do some today. I'll try and get all my homework done today. I'll really make an effort to get it finished. What I need to do for the next couple of weeks. I'll get it all done so I've got a clean slate for the next couple of weeks. So I'm brainstorming. It's not Total Recall, couple of weeks, 2 weeks. Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's not what it was. That's there, just there, it's gone. It's not Green Lantern. Ooh, spooky. Ooh, Green Lantern. The power is your... Oh no, that's Captain Planet. All similar. I'm getting closer. Yeah, look, I just put things up for conversation, for maybe meeting a friend. I mean, how else do you meet people unless you put a bit of stuff out there? But I don't tend to meet anyone, so it sort of doesn't work, the internet. Computers don't sort of... That's what it was. I'm getting closer. Sort of don't get much out of it, I don't get much input, output. That's what it was. So yeah, I just put stuff out there just to talk about. Like I'm putting it out there. I suppose I'm taking what's on in movies, and I'm sort of trying to make it like that could be the future. I believe I'm a bit of a sci-fi fan without really being any particular genre. I'm not really a Star Trek or a Star Wars my neighbours are Star Wars, but I'm not really into that. That's a bit. It's a bit. I'm more what could be real. Not really what's fantastical. Superman to me wouldn't fly from another planet particularly to get to Earth and then mix with us, and then it's a bit outrageous, really. Superman would be sort of someone who evolves from Earth and protects Earth and lives here and lives among us and helps other people evolve and becomes a new race. That's the Superman. If you ask me, that's what Superman is. I mean, even though society, as soon as I mentioned it, started abusing me and putting all the karma and all their hatred and all their bullshit on me, they should be building me up, giving me love, turn me into the Superman they want, not abusing, neglecting, assaulting, and rejecting. It's not particularly. That's the Hollywood propaganda machine trying to kill God. It's always trying to knock God down and kill it. In favor of Hollywood stars. So they make out all these supermen to lose their families. They're aliens. They're they're crime fighters. People don't like them. They're all good and all righteous, and so half the population will hate them, and the other half will sort of probably not be interested. So that's their model. It's a violent model. It's all about violence, fighting, cowboys and Indians, good guys, bad guys. It's this sort of whole self-righteous sort of, police, cops fighting the baddies, Whereas, in Australia, we don't think that way so much. The cops go around and do a bit of, they tend to problems and things, but they're not trying to beat people down so much. In America, they try and, force their power onto people. They're trying to, I don't know much about it, but that's the way it seems on telly. The police state. Over here we're a bit more laid back. Criminals. I said I support criminals. I only mean that because I support people. A lot of people are just have no choice because of the way governments sort of restricted our money. And work, wages and things like that. There are people are constantly complaining about. It's nothing new. I'm saying, it's nothing new. I'm not saying anything outrageously strange or fantastically abnormal. It's normal stuff. They're not getting enough payments. We're not getting enough wages. What I'm saying is there is a solution which covers the board and that solves all the problems. That we just need a living allowance. Everyone does. Not just, disabled or pensioners or whatever. It should all just be the one payment. Not a pension, it's derogatory pension. It's associated with being old and disabled and crippled. And everyone should get a living allowance. It just helps them with the basics. So it's just, in the future, it'll have to be something like that because people won't always be able to work. They'll be doing other things. They'll be sitting just resting, in stasis. How are they supposed to work if they're in stasis for 10 years? How are they supposed to earn a living? They need that regular payment. So you've had an accident, you need to regenerate a limb, you might be in stasis for 5 years, regenerating a limb, out cold, and you're not getting paid during that time. So, you're going to need stuff like that. It's going to happen a lot. And the government's just not prepared for the future. They're sitting sort of looking back in the past, blaming, blaming Jesus, blaming all this shit and religion. That's over with. I mean, fuck, it's gone. It was gone fucking 1,000 years ago. It's unnecessary. The last 800 years has been unnecessary, It's just ridiculous why we even need religion anymore. I mean, it just disrupts my life continually with all these false stories about it and all this other shit, and it's ancient and dated, and it's pulling us back into the past all the time. We want to look to the future and enjoy it. But point I was trying to make before was, and as that person, that spirit, that person I keep coming back as, this famous sort of person, this creator, inventor, I've created everything basically just about that you can look at. In some way, shape or form, I've sort of invented it, and the rest of the world sort of hasn't done much for me, I sort of expect the same back, but I've always been at the forefront doing all the laborious sort of work and not getting my marriage right because of the way I'm treated, because of this crucifixion that's endlessly going on with this Bible that, they're bashing the Bible all the time, which is ancient. Why keep bashing the ancient story? Get with the future and get with the present. And I'm not trying to kill religion. It's just you got to keep up with the present day. You can't just pretend that we're living 2,000 years ago. We're not. We've moved on. This is a new age. You got to keep up with the new age church. You got to realize that Christ might be living amongst you. He's not just somewhere in the clouds. Looking down. He's not. Maybe his spirit's up there looking down, but he's here on the ground. His fleshy body's here on the earth. So treat that with a bit of respect. Don't just keep continually berating me and rejecting and saying, "Oh no, you don't exist. You're up there in the clouds." How hurtful it is. I go down the street and everyone's like, "Oh no, you don't exist. You're up in the clouds." And it's to some end I sort of am above the world looking down, but that's just my spirit up there looking down, and my soul or whatever. So you got to love the body of Christ. You don't just love the spirit as the body of Christ. It's very hurtful. Just continually giving power to me all the time. I don't want power all the time. I want some love. I want some affection and love and beauty in my life. And I've done all this stuff. Why don't you contribute something? The rest of the world, give me something back. Don't just mimic what I'm doing. I say it in the nicest possible way. That I do all this stuff for everyone, and everyone just continually expects more. Anyway, I got to the end. I got to heaven. This is it. This is as much as I can do. It comes from me. I'm expecting something from you now. Something loving, something beautiful. Invent something that I don't expect. You complain about all this stuff that people make. And I've helped invent computers too, and put in my effort there. Over the years, and the various people I've been. Helping the world develop. And you just get murmuring, complaining, "Oh, we don't like this, we don't like that." The stuff you do is corrupt, and it's criminal, and it's disruptive to people's lives like myself. It should be helping it, should be loving it. Should be here to help us prosper and journey on and, do all the stuff we want to do. It's disheartening when you get nothing back for everything you put in, and there's people out there selfishly trying to attain their own wealth, and not giving anything back, just taking. The world's not just continually about taking; it's about giving as well. So, just a heads up. That's just where the world's going wrong. That's why heaven on earth isn't actually. Well, it's here on earth. It's here now, but it's not being accepted or by a lot of people. Just you get again, the root cause goes back to government corruption and improper use of money, but which is a big part of how the world works at the moment. It'll eventually change and money will become irrelevant, but you've got to turn that into something positive and generous. How are you supposed to expect people to work for nothing in the future and be generous with their time if you don't teach them how to do it with money? You got to start, and you got to show initiative, and you got to show leadership at government level and where the money is coming from. You got to be generous at that level to start with, to have that filter down into the population and teach people to be generous with their time and effort. And I'm doing it all the time. I'm so generous. I've given everything I've got, and there's only so much you can do. You got to live as well. So I can't do anything for nothing anymore. I've got to earn a bit of money to pay for things I need. But I've given as much as I can. My music, my videos, my whatever else, radio, helping people, and every day I give people money in the street. I'm sure there's other people who are more generous than me, who can afford to be. I do as much as I possibly can. I end up with like 10 cents at the end of my fortnight in my bank account. I've got nothing left, and nothing left in my tank. I'm exhausted, and I'm trying to learn more about modern technology, which I understand. I understand. I always did, but it's just learning how it's done by these other people, which I look at it's kind of sinful. It's not designed to help people like me get somewhere in life. It's sort of designed to the opposite, which I don't think is a good thing. But by helping people like us, anyway, that was just my point I wanted to make. That you know, the world's not going to become what we want it to be—a beautiful wonderland with all possibilities if you're constantly trimming us back and cutting us down. And I just want to make that point that accept us, accept our spirit, and accept our being, and just love us. I mean, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to come and attack you or anything. We'll just sit there and enjoy your space. Enjoy space with you. Like sit and have a coffee, or we're not going to lunge at you or something because you love us. It's about acceptance. And when you're little kids, you're all over each other. When you get to adults, people want their space and don't want people in their face and stuff like that. And I always do that with people. I give people a bit of attention, but I give them their space as well. It's about being observant around you, like especially if you've been exposed online. You've got to be a bit observant of who's around you and what they're doing and what they're up to, just to keep a safe sort of like in my heart of hearts. I'm probably a bit like a ninja or something, a bit of a samurai. I sort of I watch around me just to make sure my space is safe, as well as enjoying it, and as well as being a loving person and being respectful. And I'm just monitoring sometimes, just for safety's sake, just to make sure, I cover my bases and everything's safe around me, without really trying. It just happens. So if I see something, I just turn and have a look and just make sure it's okay, because I haven't had any direct threats or anything, but you just don't know if you're putting stuff out on the internet who's seeing it. So I'm just aware, just aware. That's all. So. If you see me turn around and look at you, I'm not perving. I'm just keeping aware of my surroundings, And also in my heart, because it's crying out for a partner, I do look at people. I just think, oh, they're nice, and just see if there is a connection sometimes. So if I was married, I wouldn't even do that. I'd just walk around my wife, enjoying her company, and I just take notice of everything and probably smile at everyone, which is nice too, to catch a smile. So and invite friends into our world, that's what I do. Okay, well, that's 18 minutes. I'm 18 minutes old. I'm an adult now, a minute adult.